She is a bare block. Oh, got a crank in it, but I need to get pistons put back in this thing. Put lifters back in, get the heads put back on. When we dropped the valve in Bristol, we did get some damage in the cylinder here. Not great. Put her back together, get her running for time being, but I'm gonna have to address that cylinder. It's not good. I'm gonna put it back together and we're gonna run it, but it's not gonna be the best setup for sure. So probably gonna look for a new block or something. I don't know. I might use this one and then go through and change some stuff. I don't know, but we're gonna have to change something about it because it is not in good shape in that cylinder. So I have to get the block pulled out, hone it, get some other pistons or something. I'm not sure. Either do that or find another 5.3 block and just put it in there. Might be a cheaper option. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get to work figuring that out. I tore this all apart at the house, so I'm gonna go through the oil pan again because we did do a little burnout. I'm gonna check that. As usual, we don't buy new head gaskets around here. Clean the copper coat off and just reuse those. Stock rod and piston, you know the deal. Just beat her till she blows. Just went through a bunch of these pistons here, clean them all up. Just kind of looking at them, and we are throwing together a ticking time bomb. I'm not gonna lie. These have a bunch of marks in them from where the valve hit. All the rings move nice and free though, so I didn't pinch any ring lands on any of these. But there's definitely pieces hitting right here, and a couple of them are like that. So I got some of that action going on. I got some scarring on the cylinder walls with some really big valleys in the cylinder walls. So this is not something we had put together here at Elmy. We completely rebuild it and everything, but with less than a month away, I don't have time to get parts and remachine it. I don't have time for that. Look at all these blocks that we got lined up. This is all blocks getting ready to get put together. These are all machined and everything. So we just got too much stuff going on. Not gonna try and rush putting this together. Just gonna put it together with this. I know it's gonna run like this. It's not gonna be the best. It's definitely gonna have a little bit of blow by, but it's not a drag motor. We're doing burnouts here, you know, so if it goes, it goes. But let's shoot for keeping the rods in the motor. Anything else? Hey, yeah. Did I take it on right there? Yeah. All these right here are pretty bad. These ones are pretty good. And then that one right here is pretty good too. That one's like the fucking Grand Canyon. Yeah, everything's fine. All right, so those are just shavings. This whole thing, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna forget we saw that. I am going to go ahead and start putting this thing together. Against my better judgment, you know. I mean, the block looks great, so yeah, I don't see why not put it back together, you know. All right, I figured I'd start on the best cylinder, the first one. It looks really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and start on that one. Since it has so much blow by, it kind of already has its own oil on top of the rings. I don't think it's a big deal to just completely smother this thing in oil. So yeah. Are we recording? Yeah, the red thing's on. Okay, good deal. All right, so we got some oil there. Oh, we do have to take these rod caps off. That helps. You don't have to, I guess, but it does help. Now, you want to make sure that your crankshaft rod journal is at the bottom. And wouldn't you know it, it's at the top. Great. Something I just noticed is there's no pistons in it, so I probably could have just... Yup. Well, now she's at the bottom. and now my fingers are full of. So, windage tray, pickup tube, all in. Gonna go ahead and go grab the oil pan and wipe down the sealing surface here. Grab that oil pan, slap it on, and get my lifters in. And we are gonna be waiting on the heads after that. All right, so the rat rod is all put back together. Did everything, I believe I put water in it. We did have one fitting that was messed up, so I fixed that. I'm gonna go ahead and try and fire it up. Alright guys, with the engine back together and the rat rod, I wanted to try something a little different for starting my burnout contest. So I haven't used this feature in the rat rod since it was turboed with the small block, but I do have a trans brake on this thing. So I just wired up a button. I had taken the other one out and I don't know where it's at, but just wired up another button so you hear me click it. That's the solenoid on the transmission. So I have a pretty tight converter in this thing because I really like to drive it on the street. But that can be kind of a pain when you're trying to start burnouts. Once this thing's on the nitrous, there's no issue. But this is still just a stock bottom end 5.3 with a cam. So it's not the easiest thing to get the small tires going. I always get it done. I always get it done, but I think starting off of a trans brake would just be instant. And I'm trying to do as instant as possible. You get good points for having instant smoke. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have no two-step, just the trans brake. I'm gonna rev it up, see how high it gets, and then wherever it gets, I'm gonna go a couple hundred, however high it gets, I'm gonna set the two-step just right below where the converter holds the engine at. So we'll see where it's at. I'm gonna set up the data log and get ready to go. So you guys saw I just did 2 trans brake tests right there, and the converter is very tight. Let me show you the data log. All right, so you can see these are the two that I did. The very first one wasn't too bad. The spike at the very top was 23, call it 2400. Yeah, 24 right there. Then you come on over and off of this spike, the normal was like 2250. Then you come over to this other one that we had here. That one was like 21 to 2000. So that's about where we're at. And the fluid is kind of cold, so I don't know if it's going to go up or down, but that's a pretty tight converter. Obviously, I'm going to not spray it while I'm on the trans brake. That'd be kind of stupid. But my goal is to have this just kick the tires loose when I let go of it. So I think 2000 to kicking the tires loose would probably work. We'll probably go out here and test it. I'm gonna go test it without nitrous, and if it does it without nitrous, then we're definitely good to go. But I want to try and get the two-step set up so it's popping. Probably sound really dumb at 2000 though. Don't forget, guys, I am selling sweatshirts right now, and every sweatshirt that gets bought is one free entry to getting a free nitrous kit. You can see how well Helen runs on a nitrous outlet, nitrous kit. Just imagine what your car could do.